This time on Roadkill, breaking everything and fixing nothing. It's Freiburger, Chappelle, and...
the 4x4 Pacer. It's back.
Freiburger here at my favorite resort. This is L&L Classic Auto, nearby Twin Falls, Idaho. In my opinion, the greatest old car junkyard in the entire country. And on this episode, my co-host is going to be Dave Chappelle. You know him from the Dirt Every Day show on Motor Trend. Well, he's stepping in for Mike Finnegan this time because Finnegan unfortunately had a family issue that he needed to deal with this week. And here's the thing that's going to go down on this episode. First of all, you may recognize this Pacer 4x4 conversion as one of the cars that Dave built on that show. But I told Dave that we were coming down here to look for a door and fender for a little Dodge D50 mini truck that he picked up recently that he absolutely loves. And he's nagged me via text a bunch of times, hey man, do you know anybody who's got a door and a fender for this thing? And so I was like, yes, I know a guy here in Idaho. So I've told him we're gonna be looking for D50 parts. In reality, I'm gonna surprise him with the Pacer that they built on Dirt Every Day. Here's what the car is. It's a 1976 AMC Pacer, and it has either a 232 or a 258 inline six. I don't know, doesn't matter, doesn't care. It's not gonna make power either way. But they put a lot of cool stuff in this when they converted it to a four-wheel drive. The transmission is an NP435. It's a granny low four-speed. It's got a Dana 20 transfer case. It has Dana 44 axles with 410s and lockers. And of course, these supple and brilliant 35-inch Super Swamper Bogger tires. The thing is, Motor Trend gave this vehicle to Chappelle as a lovely parting gift, but he's never been able to figure out how to cheaply get the thing home from Los Angeles to his place up near Spokane, Washington. I'm gonna tell Chappelle that we're looking for that fender and door that he needs, and we're gonna walk through the yard, and then he's gonna get surprised to discover that the Pacer is actually here. After that, we need to make it run because it won't surprise you to know that this did not run and drive to where it's parked right here, right now. And then we're gonna hit the road and find out if this garbage can make it all the way from nearby Twin Falls, Idaho to Chappelle's house nearby Spokane, Washington. Chappelle, baby. It's like you're my new normal.
He's so Hollywood.
Well, you know, I arranged this entire thing very carefully with our producers about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Here I am.
This was a literal last-second deal.
Yeah.
What I have for you is like a surprise, not surprise.
Uh-huh.
What do you need most in life right now?
A left front fender and a left door for a Dodge D50.
See how I worked that out?
Yeah.
Come with me.
Oh, check it out.
You can walk here forever. Don't get too in love with any one thing because there's better stuff the further you go.
Really?
It's huge.
I mean,
look at it off into the distance.
it is good.
And it goes over that hill. What year is your D50?
Mine's an 80. They made them basically that body style from 79 to 86. What's this? Pile of Pacers?
I know. This is AMC town right here.
There's some good stuff up here. This is like, oh, there's my Pacer. Look at that.
See what we did there?
You really got me there. What are we doing with this thing?
Well, our initial plan had been that Finnegan and I were gonna come here, make it run, and drive it home to you.
Uh-huh.
But then when Finnegan couldn't make it, I'm like, what's the next best thing? Bring Chappelle to the garbage.
Yeah, dude, I'm super stoked.
Cool.
That thing's awesome. It's cool to see it out here living its best life.
It is really adorable.
Yeah. Now looking at it, it is kind of beat up. There's like better looking Pacers out here.
I counted 7 from here to down there.
Really?
Yeah.
This thing was a legit junkyard car when I got it.
I know, I saw.
It's pretty good.
That's character.
It's all smashed out. Did you air up the bags?
That would have required me knowing that it had bags.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a good car, like road trip car.
You're gonna find out.
We will find out.
We call this Roadkill.
Yes. Oh, so fun. I know some rad roads out of here too.
That's the other thing we needed from you.
There's a dirt road out of Sun Valley that goes up over this pass that's super cool. 550 miles?
12 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a long drive.
We can do it.
This thing's rad. Good work. Thanks for bringing my car out here to the middle of nowhere so that we can get it to my house.
It needs to run first.
Let's fix my car.
Well, first of all, I don't hear a fuel pump running. Those guys are running to get us a battery, and so we're going dreaming right now.
Yeah.
This is the acceptable roof line to me, the business coupe, because the longer roof line's no good. It says it's a 48, it lies, it's a 49.
This is a great car, the little business coupe one.
That's pretty good. The business coupe is key.
This is what I was coming down here for.
Oh, yeah. This is just like yours, right?
Yeah, this is a 55 Merc. Mine's a 56 two-door post.
56 Mercury.
Mine's a
Medalist.
Yeah.
A Medalist sedan, yeah.
The sedan and wagon had an 1.5 inch taller windshield than these.
Yeah, this is better.
So I want to cut the roof line here. I want to cut the whole package tray out. I actually just want to chop the back down a little bit and give it a little bit of a rake.
Are you gonna sink the window?
A little bit. I'm gonna graft it back in so that it's a post car.
This is flawless. You should get it. We can Sawzall it off and strap it to the roof of the Pacer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the 61 Thunderbird that's way better.
So much good stuff.
Uh-huh. I hope we hear the glorious sounds of electric fuel pump keying on.
Let's start with that.
Go.
Key is on.
Oh, I didn't hear fuel pump.
Hang on.
It shouldn't be on a switch. It should be controlled by the EFI.
Yeah, it's now loading.
This has a Holly Sniper 2-barrel kit on it.
Why is it not fuel pumping? Cranking.
It sort of wants to run.
I wonder if it might just be out of gas.
Well, the fuel pump would still run. You would hear it go,
Cranking.
okay? Yeah, it's got no fuel.
Let's try some other switches.
Well, the fuel pump,
Should just run.
it should just run. It should not have its own separate switch. Because we've cycled the battery and removed it and killed it a bunch of times, I'm gonna run through the setup wizard. Oh, no wonder. This is the 2-injector 2300, right?
Correct.
So that's part of the problem. Okay, I heard the relay click.
I heard it click too.
But it did not cycle the fuel pump.
I'm going under.
Yep, I'll just sit here and sweat.
The part that worries me the most is that there's a bunch of gaff tape wrapped around it. Oh, here we go. The stud for the power is broken off and the nut is missing. I will hold it on there. Go ahead and cycle the key.
Ready?
Yeah.
There, yay.
All right, it's gonna crank, dude.
Yep, it's gonna run.
I just need some little tiny vice grips.
Here's your gift.
Oh, thanks.
All right, let's find out if the Pacer will run.
Oh man, that's a loud fuel pump. Cranking. It's so good.
Like new,
Yeah.
and it's idling down as it should. Will it take throttle?
Let me just give it a second. Nice and easy.
Sweet.
It's pretty good. Man, gonna drive this thing to go get lunch?
That's what I was thinking. Wow, this is great.
It's got some clutch noise.
It even has the normal exhaust leak.
Yeah, the cream of the crop of four-wheel drive Pacers.
We're gonna go shop for parts, if this thing will drive okay. This has front air suspension, and it would appear there's no air in the bags.
Man, the clutch is
Clutch is way up there
yeah.
and chattery.
What is rattling so bad? far are we driving this?
That's a drive shaft clanker. We're trying to drive around the yard. We made it 100 yards or less. I've discovered now that the front drive shaft is rattling against the exhaust, which is because the front airbags for the front suspension have no air in them, and so the exhaust is too low and the axle's touching everything and all that stuff. And the clutch is also super hinky.
The clutch is really not happy.
Oh, wow, I see why the clutch pedal's got so much travel now. The problem is on your Z-bar, the arm on the upside is about this long and the arm on the bottom side's about that long. I don't think we're gonna solve that clutch issue.
No, that'll tell us how to fix it tomorrow.
Not. Yeah. Yeah, but I think we can solve the drive shaft hitting the exhaust just by putting air in the front airbags. So we've got a Schrader valve here. Tyler from L&L here has got a quad that's fully equipped for everything that you need, including the Sawzall we'll need later.
Yeah.
And he's got a compressor that we're using to fill up the airbags.
I would say that's good.
Okay. Thank you.
See if it's any better.
That seems all right.
Yeah.
Wow, that clutch pedal's way up there.
Yeah, there's
Something's hinky in there.
D50, huh?
Yep. It's a really good D50. Everything I promised you from the start. Right here.
Oh, this is it?
See that? Look at that thing. Yeah?
I see a big old dent in the driver fender.
What?
You said mint.
Oh. More minter than what you have. It does have just a ding right there, but that's a bonk.
Bottom's rusted out. I kind of say we grab the door and the fender.
I'm kind of crushed. Top of the show, I established that the only thing he needed in his life was a door and fender off this truck. Easy.
Yeah.
Wow.
The door's a piece of cake.
Yeah. Ta-da!
Oh, we're making moves. Let's go see if we can find that Merc.
We're gonna go shopping for a vehicle that we need to cut the whole top off of.
Cruising. We're looking for a yellow bread truck.
Yellow bread truck.
Said it was almost to the exit.
There's the yellow bread truck.
Oh, yeah, right by the gate.
Okay, there they are.
Shutting her down.
Okay, what we're doing here is judging whether the top on this car is better than the white or yellowish car that we were looking at earlier, so that we can cut the whole roof off and use it on Dave's custom. You know what this totally reminds me of? Is right there is where Finnegan and I rescued our 71 Pontiac T37 on another episode of Roadkill. And to acquire it, we did a part trade on our ugly truckling.
Yeah.
They're gonna put it up in front on like their lift. They keep talking about putting it on a couple poles and having it on a forever Roadkill display.
This thing's pretty hammered. I think we're better off with the white car.
How do you feel about that being a you and me tomorrow problem?
I'm kind of done with the heat for today.
All right, so decision made.
Pacer Rescue is becoming a parts running mission.
I know, I'm stoked.
We're gonna cut the roof off this thing, strap it to this thing, and get out of here.
I've got the Mercury Slayer.
Okay.
Okay, man, we nailed it on this side. This is the last cut we need to make to get the top off. That's it.
That's just it. This is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh, I'm stoked.
This will be so convenient when we need to work on the engine. And it'll be like driving with a chopped top.
Yeah.
Ha! This is everything I hoped it would be. But we have one more thing that we want to attempt to acquire.
There's a Pinto with a mint rear bumper, and I have a Mustang 2 also. I have a whole pile of junk cars. And my Mustang 2 really needs that chrome bumper, so. See if you can get it off of there.
I'm gonna tell you that's aluminum.
It really is.
Yes.
That's cool. No wonder it wasn't super shiny.
It won't hamper the performance of the Pacer on the way home.
Feel pretty good about that. That's not going nowhere. I think we're about ready to drive out of here. All right, and we're off.
We look good. I feel we have extra shade, not to mention an insulating layer.
It's amazing, really.
Wow, the sniper's reporting.
How we doing over there?
You are clear.
All right, I guess we're gonna drive this to my house.
Normal NP435 power shift, I wouldn't worry about that.
Getting a little more shake out of the roof than I was expecting. All right, that's top gear.
Well, it's shaking because the tires are flat spotted, I think.
Yeah. I feel like the engine is not the rotation problem.
No, the engine's great.
It's a clutch.
And the trans isn't popping out.
Yeah,
I think the double decker's pretty solid.
it is. It's not bad.
We're headed out of town and we already know there's a problem, not charging. $11 miles. Issues so far, the charging system seems weak. It
Yeah.
might work if it'll maintain, I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
The cooling system seems weak.
but it's
If it'll maintain, I'm okay with it.
We're gonna run in for parts. We need the alternator, maybe a regulator, air compressor, and something or other.
Look at that auto parts store. Oh, I've been here. We made it to Gooding, Idaho, and we went in the parts store because we wanted to cobble together a charging system for this thing. So Lane here, who works at the parts store, is like, I got what you need. He has a 73 Ventura, and he was just putting an alternator on it. So we're gonna take off this Delco, or
It's just a
whatever it
GM
is,
one wire.
GM one-wire alternator, and see if we can cobble that onto the AMC.
Take it over there, see if it'll fit. If it
Cool.
is, it's yours.
We got some parts. I guess we gotta scoot this roof back so we can open the hood.
For the first of many times.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that could have been worse. Oh, dude.
It's all in the wrong spot.
It's gonna hit the intake manifold is the problem. This isn't gonna work. Well, the alternator that guy wanted to loan us is not gonna fit on this. So I'm gonna troubleshoot the wiring a little bit and see if this ancient alternator can be made to work more. It's going down the road at 12.1 to 12.2 volts. It wants to be, 13.2 or something like that.
Key on.
All right, that's got a big 3 volts to it. That has 2.7, so there's a lot of drop there. Okay, and down here, that one's happy. Okay, start it. Now it's 12.2, so the battery went down when we fired it up. What I'm doing now is bypassing the external voltage regulator, and I'm gonna excite the alternator or turn the alternator on by jumping it directly to the battery just to see if it will charge at all. All right, fired up, we'll find out if the alternator will charge while being excited. Yes. 12.8, 12.9, 13.
Yeah, that's good.
If it stays below 13.8, it's gonna be fine.
We're gonna bypass the voltage regulator that was in here and go straight to the battery with it, but we're gonna clip into the wire for the front air locker. That way we can have a switch inside to turn the alternator on or off, because it does draw a bunch, and we don't just want it going straight to hot and draining the battery when we're parked. This is like a electric supercharger for your electrical system.
Yep,
All right, so where are we at? We're at 12.1 right now,
yep.
and you flip it on.
Did you hear it load the engine?
Yeah,
See?
12.6, 12.7. We're charging. And then
Yep.
if I turn it off, we should get back down to 12.
Perfection. Now.
Let's roll, make 100 miles.
All right, leaving Gooding, Idaho. We got the alternator charging now on the road.
Yeah.
13 volts.
We're good to go.
I love our charging system now.
Yeah.
We're having a little bit of an overheating problem. It's now 220.
The little yellow light went on our gauge thing.
Yeah, that means bad.
It also has a new noise.
And 221. And now Dave's taking us to a place that's going to be a dirt road. It's supposedly a shortcut.
40 miles shorter, come on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, we're rolling into the Sawtooth National Forest.
The lights are working perfectly as a voltage regulator.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
They actually draw a lot of power.
I can tell. And gravel. Temperature came down, 218.
All right.
And our KC voltage regulators are still in action.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, brutal.
This is freaking beautiful. Look at that view.
Yep.
Holy cow. That's wide open. Ah, this is awesome. Why aren't we camping?
Super nice.
Thanks for taking me road killing.
Yep.
Oh, fuel pump just went out.
Did it?
Yeah. We lost the fuel pump.
The engine just died on this trail, and it's because of fuel pressure. Remember we had the locking pliers, just grabbing 2 threads on a little stud, holding a wire to it? We paid the price.
I can't get out.
Ah!
Our little wiring kit has these alligator clips, and these should actually hold that thing on there as good or better than the vice grips did. Do you want to turn ignition on? That should work.
We're at the side of the road looking for our vice grips, and I found this taillight lens, which reminded me that we were in a junkyard with 7 Pacers and did nothing about that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna handle it right now.
Couldn't pick a better place to break down.
It's pretty sweet. It's been a good day. Ready?
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's perfect.
Yes.
I dig it. We're gonna peel out, go find the hotel. It's good.
Done. This is Chalice, Idaho. I think we covered 90 miles today.
This thing's mint.
So it might have a few kinks that need to be worked out. And it does. Done for the day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yesterday, the Pacer drove 156 miles. We're somewhere in the middle of Idaho, and today we've got to try and make it all the way up to Kalispell, maybe?
We kind of fixed our charging problem with the alternator with a switch on the dash to turn it on and off. You fixed the fuel pump wiring at the side of the road yesterday, which tells me I don't think we actually need to change the fuel pump.
Good enough is good enough.
Yeah. I need to check the oil. I want to see if the coolant's flowing. Stuff. Great.
All right, I'm gonna lube up this door.
I'm gonna find a screwdriver.
Don't show David, he really likes these door panels. But I need to kind of get in here.
I hear breakage.
Don't tell him. Haha! I feel like I am door latch master.
Ooh, that has flair. It must have a thermostat. It's not moving at all.
Or a faulty water pump.
Or that. We're gonna ignore that for now as well. Slam the hood and put the Mercury top back where it belongs on the car. And our problem is, especially on that dirt road last night, that it is shaking a lot and it's sort of turning itself into a trapezoid this way, and we're concerned that it's gonna crack the A-pillars up here because it doesn't have support. So we've got a genius method to strap it down, hold it down, and give it a little bit more support so that doesn't happen. Wait for it. That's looking good.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, this is doing exactly what I pictured that it would do.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, cool.
Let's hit the road.
Do I get to drive?
You're driving. First gear's pretty short.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd need it at all.
Yeah.
Oh, the speed limit's 45. We're good.
Your kiddie pool is gone.
Where did it go?
We already lost the kiddie pool?
Skylar's picking it up.
Thank you.
The pool just left the building. Are we there yet? Oh, tire rub. Did you hear that?
Yeah. What is going on?
Something is dragging. It's slowing down aggressively.
Yeah. It's smoking the brakes and dragging really hard.
Yeah, something's going wrong. Feel the brake pedal. What it is, the master cylinder is holding pressure, and the brake pedal is just rock hard.
Oh yeah, there's nothing.
Finally, we've met a problem we can't ignore. Back?
Yeah.
That's locked up. And that's significant.
Yeah, we're driving with the brakes on, basically.
Yeah. I've had this happen before where a master cylinder goes bad and I think it bleeds internally and it develops sort of a lockup and the pedal gets really hard, which we have.
Let's figure out what's going on.
All right, what I want to do is break these lines loose to relieve some pressure. The issue is I don't have any line wrenches or flare nut wrenches with me, and these are all rusted. And so what I normally do in this circumstance is soak it with some penetrant, which I did, and I'm gonna go through and tap on them quite a bit, my goal being to break the seal of rust from the tube to the nut. And that way the tube won't turn inside the nut.
It's all about the initial whack.
Yep, exactly. Dulcich calls that the Freiburger because I trained him on that. Yeah, the trick is that impact. If you just put steady load on it, you'll fail every time. That one's good. You release the pressure, so we're good.
Okay, that's tight enough. Let's roll the vehicle.
We just broke loose the pressure that was in the brake system, and now the vehicle will roll fairly easily, whereas it wouldn't at all before. Okay, we've got our temporary fix. We know what the problem is on that pressure buildup in there. We probably need to put a master cylinder on it. So we're gonna drive to the next town, see if we can discover that.
That's good.
It's gonna be like a rocket ship.
Rocket sled on rails.
I got it. I don't really want to be this guy right now, just so I don't look like an idiot later, but you notice how much cooler it's running?
We haven't gone uphill yet.
That's why I didn't want to say it, but I did anyway. Salmon, Idaho.
We're making miles.
This is the episode where we continue to generate problems and never fix them. We've got cooling, we've got charging, now we have braking problems. They were dragging real bad.
They were dragging, but they're not problematic enough to where we can't drive through all these problems.
That's the thing.
We're driving like the oddest car on the planet, and we can't get parts.
Yeah, imagine what it looks like when you walk into a parts store in Idaho and say, I've got a 76 Pacer and I need a master cylinder.
Yeah.
That's a big zero. And so we're not gonna be able to fix that. I think The thing we agree upon is when you have a problem and you know the problem, you understand the problem, you can ignore the problem because you can drive around it.
And it's working.
Yeah.
If something catastrophic happens, I agree, we need to fix it. But right now, I say we just keep flipping switches and slowing down on the grades. We are in Salmon, Idaho. It's time to beat feet to Spokane and see if we can actually like put some of these parts on my vehicles.
How many miles is that?
We started with 400 this morning.
Yeah.
We've gone 60. We have a long ways to go and a short time to get there.
Let's go. What is that noise?
It sounds like the clutch coming apart.
We just crossed into Montana, and all of a sudden, the Pacer is just pacing.
Not so much when you're turning right. It just smokes the tire on that fender.
Look at this, it's 185 degrees. Got all the voltages.
You want to go ahead and see what it'll do?
Oh, of course.
Let's see what it'll do.
Dude, 62. 2,700 RPM, 65.
It's really starting to shake a lot.
2,969. 70.
It feels like it's coming apart. All right, that's enough. It did it. It did something.
That was good.
The clutch just keeps getting worse and worse. Now it's not even coming all the way back up.
Shift it with no clutch.
We are 8 miles from Missoula, rolling into town.
I have an idea. Let's go on a road trip and find how many things we can break and not fix.
This might be that episode.
The other thing is apparently there is a giant electrical storm or something here. Power is out everywhere. There's forest fires, and we can't keep going tonight because the gas stations don't have gas because they don't have power for the pumps. We found one hotel that was willing to accept us, so that's where we're going. So we're stopping way short of where we really want to be tonight. It's not disconnecting. Ah! Super Pacer has arrived.
Junk.
Man,
It was so good.
earlier today this thing was great. We were singing its praises on that hill.
The clutch has always been engaging like extremely high up. Now all of a sudden it's engaging right off the floor.
I think that the clutch fork is off its pivot inside the bell housing.
Oh, it popped off the ball?
Yeah, there's a ball like this that the thing pivots on, and instead it's all like here. Look at it, it'll be crystal clear to you immediately.
Yeah, no, you want to go get dinner?
Wasn't there a fire nearby?
We're not pushing it into the fire.
We can't park it over there?
No.
How about nearby? That is doo-doo.
Yeah.
Everything that's going wrong is going wrong inside here. We can take the springs off, pull this off, and see if we can finagle the fork back to where it wants to be. See this?
Yeah. The throb bearing is looking fine.
It's okay, good.
The rod is rubbing the firewall really hard.
Yeah.
All the geometry involved is like not right, obviously.
No, the Z-bar is such radically different lengths on each arm.
Well,
that one's so long and this one's so short.
this is the push rod, basically goes between the Z-bar and the clutch fork, and it's just metal on metal and rubbed almost all the way through.
So the way I see it, to fix this means removing the transfer case and the transmission and just all that stuff, and then we don't have parts, and then we have to fabricate stuff so it's not garbage again, and that's at least a full day.
Yeah, parts possibly available, because I'm sure it's just a standard whatever 10 spline clutch.
I can't figure out how to get the fork out of this bell housing.
Yeah.
It's way too much bulk to come out. So the question is, fix it or drive it with no clutch pedal?
I mean, we can drive it with no clutch, especially if we're about to get on the interstate.
Right. This is the look of defeat, albeit temporary. Well, we arrived here in Missoula and we're having clutch linkage disasters. We've looked at as much as we can. There's no amount of standing and cursing at it that's actually gonna fix it. Dave does have friends in town. We have potential for fixing tomorrow. We also have potential to drink beers tonight and pretend none of this happened.
Yep. Drive it home, no clutch.
That's the thing.
All right, let's get out of here. Basically, this is how you do it. There's the right way to do it, the wrong way to do it, and the way we're about to do it. We could fix this by taking the transmission out, doing a clutch, doing all this stuff. We could ignore it, or we could go and try and bolt some strap from the hardware store on the clutch linkage and make it work. The clutch linkage was going from a rod that's here, pushing on a lever here, and it's kind of like doing this number and not working right. So we're gonna take these guys and try and extend this pivot point down so that then it pushes straight. It makes sense in my mind.
Okay, my job is to mangle modify this clutch linkage so that it engages the throwout bearing in its happy place. I've marked that piece of metal under there about what I think needs to happen, and now Dave's doing the same thing. We'll take the average of the two and then do what Dave wants to do. We got our little piece of scrap pre-cut from the home store. And we're just gonna drill a couple holes in it, mock it up in there, make sure everything looks okay, which it will be, and then we will install it.
Hopefully the hole in the arm is right about that size.
Yeah.
This is gonna work fantastic.
I know.
Can you grab those vice grips? I don't know why we bought hardware when we have like 3 pairs of vice grips. It's not even trying to make chips on it.
Really?
Yeah. We can just leave a pair of vice grips on this and it'll be fine.
Okay.
This is kind of legit.
Great.
Pretty solid. I guess go ahead and try and actuate it.
That is really stiff.
The problems are really internal.
We tried. It's not working.
Shoot, man, what do you want to do?
Drive it with no clutch.
Okay. All right, I'm undoing the repair because it didn't work, for one. And if we do have like an emergency situation, I feel like the factory stuff is less likely to break. So I'm taking our little fence strapping out of here and we'll hook it back up to where it was.
We're off. Chappelle's gonna make me embarrass myself first.
Yeah. I'm gonna get schooled.
Oh, the other thing about driving with no clutch pedal is you gotta start it in gear, which fortunately this does well.
Perfect. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, but we have a problem.
Maybe start it in second. There we go.
I sure thought I nailed that.
You can lug this engine down to around 350. Oh, here we go. Second to third.
Clutchless shift is second and third.
Nice. Solid performance.
Are you feeling the cruise?
Yeah, it's great.
Bummer.
Seems like alternator's doing good at the low RPMs. Oh. We got the green. Good start. Oh man, we got 4 more lights to deal with.
Uh-huh. Oh, look, they're all green. Is there any chance?
We got 1 green.
Did it.
Nice. All right.
That is a lot of load on this poor motor.
It's not stoked, but it's not getting hot. This is amazing. We're about a half mile from the top. Come on, thing. See?
Go!
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 Thing.
Go!
I think we did it.
Idaho! Yeah!
60 miles of this, and then we're back in Washington.
Just think if you'd gone down and tried to drive this back home yourself.
That would have sucked. Heck yeah! Now it's the home stretch.
We did it! Idaho, Montana, Idaho, Washington. I mean, I don't mean to give you damaged goods, but you may have noticed that it's making a little noise.
I'll have my mechanic look at it.
Okay.
This is us. Coming in hot.
Woo! Ah.
All right.
Ah, I survived. It's Hazel.
The car survived. It is crazy. It's been like 5 years since this thing was parked in my backyard, and here it is, full circle.
You'd almost completely forgotten about it until it became the gift for the man who has everything.
We got a top for my other car, bumper, all kinds of parts.
Yep.
I can't believe it made it. This thing came out of a wrecking yard, then went to a wrecking yard, and then we just did this epic road trip. That was wild. David totally surprised me with this. It is just such a crazy cool build, and to see it parked in the back lot at Motor Trend, it was kind of killing me. I'd been trying to buy this thing back from him for probably the last year. It's pretty amazing. I'm stoked that it's here and I can fix a couple things on it and continue to enjoy it.
You know, at the end of every roadkill, I attempt to find something that I've learned. And this time, the big takeaway is that when you know the rules, you can find a way to break them. Mechanically, that's what we did here. This junk drove 600 miles. We broke the alternator and only sort of fixed it with a manual switch that we made work. We had an issue with the brakes dragging, then relieved some pressure and drove it with a light touch on the brakes so that we lived through that. The clutch entirely left the party, and I was able to drive it 200 miles without ever touching the clutch pedal. Best of all, we put this whole episode together in about 10 minutes. We visited the greatest junkyard ever and surprised Dave Chappelle by delivering him his car back in sort of a backhanded way. I love the Pacer. I also don't need to drive it again for a while. But we did some real good here. We got some new body parts for Dave's D50 and a new lower, cooler top for his 55 Merc. And if he ever finishes that project, perhaps you'll see it in a future episode of Roadkill.